This is the laptop board, and it is where I'm going to rank every computer that I own on battery, performance, user experience, and based off of the average placing overall, their score will be on here. So currently, I have the X61 on the battery and nothing else on performance, user experience, and overall other than the X61 because I haven't tested any of them. But for this video, I'm just going to introduce to you this board and also do the user experience one because I don't need to do actual testing for like these two. So let's start off with the oldest computer that I own. And it actually has not been introduced into this channel yet, but this is the Toshiba Satellite 205 CDS. And I would say now let's plug it in. Okay, alright. Let's plug in this beast of a computer from 1996. Oh, it's got power. Now, we boot it up. So, as this thing boots up, I will introduce to you it. This thing is quite a nice laptop. The keyboard is a little bit of, it's also very loud. Anyway, the keyboard is just a simple full-size keyboard. I guess you would say it's a 67% keyboard with all the keys here. Anyways, so it's a very standard keyboard. All right, great, nice. All right, escape, yes. All right, the CMOS battery is dead because the plastics are brittle and I'm scared to open it up. But this has, which you'll see very quickly, actually quite a bit of RAM. 24 megabytes to be exact. So, you know, anyways, and it's running Windows 95. This uses just a track point, and something interesting is that this whole thing is left click and this whole thing is right click. When I first got this, I thought this was left click, this was right click, and this was scroll. And I was like, wow, Toshiba did it before IBM did. But no, this is right click and this is left click. Anyways, so on this side is the serial port and the floppy drive port, hidden by this door, which actually still holds on because it's just a plastic hinge. There's also the PCM CIA slots, the power button, and a headphone and microphone in port. I'm not sure which one's which, actually. Yeah, okay, I actually put into the right one. This one's headphone and this one's microphone. On the front, there is a speaker where there's another audio jack and a volume wheel, and the speaker itself. It's a mono speaker. As you heard, it's not very good. And on this side is the battery compartment that does not contain a battery at the current moment, and probably will never contain a battery. And the CD drive. Yes, the 205 CDS stands for CD, obviously, anyways. And on the back, the back is where there's an IR blaster, a VGA port, a parallel printer port, the power jack itself. Yes, this has a built-in power supply inside. Scary, I know. If it fails, I'm fricked. And a PS2 port. And also just a fan. And this is a docking port. Very nice. Alright. And it's nothing really special on the bottom, but I'll show it to you anyways. It's just some access slots, and this releases the CD, and this is the battery compartment. This is the RAM slot. Okie doke. So currently this is running. Let me turn off that awful buzzing noise. Where is it? All right, there we go. It's in low power mode now. Anyways, so it's been restored. I don't actually have the restore CD. It was restored by the previous owner, but it has quite a bit of stuff. And yes, it is a passive matrix display. I did hear that there's a thing where you could do to stop making the, what's it called, the mouse just disappear. So I'm gonna do that, and it is just to add mouse trails. I thought mouse trails were useless, because in modern computers where AcuPoint where it's active matrix, you don't have to worry about that. But look at that. Now mouse trails are enabled, and now everything is good. Anyways, apply. Okay. Alright. See, now your mouse isn't going to disappear on you. Okay. But this does run off of a hard drive, so I don't want it to fail. I just boot it up periodically so it does not lose data. So anyways, shut down. Yes, I want to shut down the computer. Okay, so let's unplug that power. Alright, and overall, I would say the keyboard is very nice. Actually, let's give you a typing test on the keyboard. Sounds very nice. Spacebar is a little rattly, but other than that, very nice keyboard to type on. Quite a bit of travel. Track point is nice. It's although I don't like that this is not the scroll, and like this whole thing is dedicated to left click, which is a little weird. But overall, user experience very nice. There is also like a weird, really long tab key, but anyways, user experience very nice. If you turn to slow mode, because you're not going to be doing anything very much on this computer, it's bearable. There's no loud beeping sound. But because there is a beeping sound, I will have to put it at a temporary Toshiba 205 CDS. A temporary middle of the pack. So let's just go ahead and get the pin. Temporary middle of the pack. Yes, I'm using a pin board. I'm broke, all right. I spent all my money. I spent all my money and stuff on computers. What'd you expect? All right. Now, let's move on to my next oldest computer. This is the computer that kickstarted my bit on YouTube for a while. The ThinkPad. Dang it. Hinges are too good. Okay. It's not. Alright. The ThinkPad 600E. So this was released in 1996, has a Pentium, but this was released in 1999 and has a Pentium 2. And of my vintage laptops, this has to be my favorite. I mean, I only have 3, and one of them is broken, but the keyboard is very nice. I'm not gonna boot it up because I don't feel like getting the charger, and you've already seen it. If you want to see it boot up, you can go watch my 600E video. But overall, anyways, so the keyboard, very nice to type on. Probably the best ThinkPad keyboard I have. It is very, let's say, very smooth, buttery smooth to type on. Has the classic keyboard travel. Very, there's just no flex in this thing. You can press down on it as hard as you want, no flex, because this thing is thick AF, man. If this thing flexed, then yeah, no. Anyways, because of the no flex, the very buttery smooth keys, even the backspace feels really nice. All the keys just feel very nice to type on. Now let's move on to the track point. So the track point on this thing, I don't like this because it gets really dirty and my hands are always greasy because I just have greasy skin. I literally wash them, all right? I wash them. I just get greasy skin really fast and sweaty hands. So I don't like that because it just gets dirty with me. The track point buttons, they're very nice. I honestly like the newer style where the scroll button is in the middle, because honestly, that's like too much movement, man. Like, you gotta like whole circle of motion instead of just left and right, left and right, left and right. So, but the buttons, ooh, they're good. They're good buttons, all right. They're just amazing buttons. And ooh, yeah. And the screen, it's a Active Matrix 1024 by 768 display, 13-inch. Just what came with the computer, right? So this has a Pentium 2, 266, and overall for playing vintage games and using as a vintage ThinkPad, very nice. It's got a floppy drive. Very nice computer. Let's write it down. get a pin. And if I were to rank this thing, I would definitely rank it above the Toshiba. So just put it right here. Might have to move all these later. So I won't be going over the broken ones because they're broken and I can't really judge them based off of these two things if they're broken. So now let's move on to my next oldest ThinkPad. All right. Which is actually a three-way tie. Between all my 61 ThinkPads. Oh. So, alright. Let's get all of them opened up. So then, this is my 61 ThinkPad collection. I already made a video on this stating why these are my favorites, and they just cannot be beat. I mean, their keyboards are just before they removed the solid backplate, solid middle backplate. They're the classic layout with all these very nicely laid out. They got the blue enter key on all of them. You got the very nice big arrow keys. It's not as big as a 600E, but they're still very nice. You got the left and right page. And you got the very nice, very tactile track point with the nub that's actually usable and not completely stiff. So if I were to rank these, I would honestly have to rank them all together. I can't pick a favorite. I mean, every single one of them has their own improvements over the other. This one, let's just hide my second X61. Let's just compare these two computers. I've taken out the battery just because I don't want them to die. Anyways, so let's go over some of the, I guess, if I have to rank them, let's go over some of their drawbacks and strengths. So this thing, obviously, its drawback would be it's just heft. I mean, right now it's honestly not that heavy just because it's doesn't have the battery in it, but it's still very heavy to carry around. Well, this thing, yeah, it's super light. I mean, with the battery, it's even lighter, but this thing, you can just toss it around and, you know, toss it around. This thing, yeah, no, you cannot toss this thing around. But an advantage would be that this keyboard is full size. I mean, this keyboard is technically full size with the keys and stuff, but the edges, yeah, they've been shrunken down. Even this side, which looks like it's not been shrunken down, has also been shrunken down. I mean, that control, it's smaller. And this side has definitely been shrunken down. And the keys, arrow keys have also been shrunken down. So that's a win for this. But something that's not, and another win for this is the inclusion of a trackpad. Of course, this is too small to have a trackpad, but it's always nice to have a trackpad, just so that when other people want to use your computer, they're not gonna mess up your track point. They get to use the trackpad. You get to use the track point. Anyways, but another drawback is the hinge. Oh, look at that wobble. It shakes the whole computer. Well, this, see? The whole computer goes along with the thing as you move it. Well, this, you just move it and then it shakes, you know? It's just a problem with the widescreen T61s. So that's 2 wins for this, 2 wins for this. Honestly, the screens are the same resolution basically. This thing is 1280 by 800. This is 1024 by 768. I mean, honestly, this is better just because it's 4:3, and so, but like right now, like technically widescreen would be better just because all the content you consume right now is in widescreen, so you can't really compare these two. If you compare build quality, they're the same. I mean, they're both built like tanks. They're both, ooh, see, let me toss them around, do whatever I want to them. They won't break. They're like tanks. So let's just rank the whole 600 generation as 61 generation as the computers. So ThinkPad, all right, let's get a pin. All right, let's pin it to the pinnacle of user experience. All right, now let's move on through the ages, through the times. Oh, 1 year into the future, and enter the MacBook Pro Unibody, late 2008 MacBook Pro Unibody 15-inch. Oh, this thing, I mean, it is very nice. The keys, I mean, they're okay, I guess. I mean, they're not the best of the best. They definitely could be better. But trackpad is very nice. The overall build quality is very nice. The screen is very nice. But there is something wrong with it. There's something wrong that kills the user experience. No track point. I mean, come on. No. I mean, if I were to rank it, the keyboard, probably be around the same rank as the Toshiba keyboard. It's a good keyboard, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad keyboard, but it's not a particularly good one. I mean, it's, maybe I just got a bad model, maybe I just got a bad sample, but a good, this is what I mean, a good keyboard, right? It shouldn't be able to, when you like press down on it lightly, it shouldn't lean to one side and not actuate. When you push down lightly on the ThinkPad keyboard, on one edge, it just, the whole thing goes. I mean, the worst offender, of course, is the space bar because it's long. and stuff. But all the other keys do it a little bit. Like, you press down a little on the command and it takes a while before it just makes it feel mushy, and that's a very big down point on that. Not even the Toshiba keyboard does it. But Toshiba keyboard is a little bit like grindy. It feels like brown switches, which I don't like. So, and this is just laptop keyboard. Feels okay, I guess. But that flaw really breaks it. And also, the glossy screen. I mean, it's way too glossy. You gotta see all the stuff I don't want you to see in the background. Ugh. Anyways, so all right, MacBook Pro. No, whoops. Oh my, I'm so terrible. All right. I'm running out of pins here, but so if I were to rank the user experience, I would actually, and also it gets really hot, so can't be put really high up. The user experience is gonna be better than the 205 CDS, just because it has a 205 CDS is terrible, that passive matrix screen, but it does not compare to the other computers, to the ThinkPads. It just does not. It just does not compare. Remember, this is user experience, not power. Power is right here and battery is right here. You might say, wow, the MacBook is going to be much better than these two and all these in performance. Sure, if it tops the charts here, then that's great, all right? But this is user experience, and this is all my opinion, all right? This is all my opinion to maybe hopefully boost some computer rankings that will be lower based off these two, just so I can get them higher on the overall. Anyways, so let's move on. Let's jump forward. One more year and enter the ThinkPad E40. Oh, one hand open. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, it's glossy as well. All right. That's a point down already. The keyboard, I'd say it's pretty nice. It's a very nice keyboard overall, I feel. I'm pretty sure it's the full travel. This might be slimmer than, this might be half, it might be a little bit less than full travel. It's maybe 2.1 millimeter and not the 2.5 millimeter. But this has a Core i5, runs Windows 7. Very nice. And it's basically the equivalent, it's like the cheap version of the T410. It's nice, it's got a webcam. The track point is very nice. Track point, very nice to work with. These buttons, a little bit mushy. Doesn't have as much definition to it as these track point buttons. Trackpad, very nice. It's got multi-touch. It's pretty big. It's pretty ginormous, honestly. trackpad buttons. Ooh, these buttons. I like these buttons. Very nice buttons. So it's overall very nice computer. The screen is very terrible though. It's 3066 by 768, and that's quite terrible, honestly. It's 14-inch too, so it's just not a good screen. Also, it's just not a good ThinkPad in general. I mean, so many compromises. Something that is nice about this thing though is the back. Full access panel. I know, crazy. You can access the RAM, hard drive. You can access even the CPU cooler. You can change the thermal paste just from this, which is crazy. You can also upgrade the CPU just from this, which is crazy. But you can't. They don't have the. It doesn't have the Ultra Bay, so dock point for that. This is like supposed to be a little bit of a, I don't know, like Wi-Fi card or like modem card, but there's nothing soldered in here, so it's just a thing to nothing. But overall, if I were to rank it on all these computers, user experience, I would say, is even below the MacBook Pro. I mean, the trackpad's nice. The trackpad's nice, don't get me wrong. But the overall computer, it's not very nice. It's not very nice. Oh, wait. Okay, let's share a pin for this. Okay. Okie doke. Alrighty. Alright. And Toshiba. But it's above the Toshiba. It's above the Toshiba. Toshiba's that passive matrix screen really just sucks. Nothing good about it can redeem that awful passive matrix screen. Alright. Oh, I just decided to stop. Alright. And now let's continue moving through the years with a time skip now to, wait a sec, I don't have that in here. I gotta go get it. Enter ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 6. I know, quite a bit of a time jump, but I just don't have any laptops. Any other laptops between the years of 2010 and 2018. I just don't. So this thing is my daily work machine. It's gotten beaten, battered. The screen is a little, the keyboard, very nice. I would say although it's very short key travel, not very short key travel, it might be better than this. I mean, yes. So it's better than this, but the layout is not that good. But like the key feel, I'm saying the key feel is better. The track point is not though. Track point, this thing just doesn't feel as, you know, like I can sort of like twist this almost like a joystick. Well, this is like, this feels pretty stiff in comparison, but still though, it's not that stiff. It still feels pretty good. Track point buttons, very nice with the hinging style. And if you know what I mean, it's just the fact that, yeah, it does connect to a hinge right here, and the rest of the thing is able to click. And trackpad, very nice glass trackpad. Blah blah blah. All right, X1 carbon. Okay, so that is actually my last pin. So when I get more pins, I'll be able to continue this. But for now, oh wait, I also gotta move this up. All right, so of course it's gonna be below the 61 generation just because, no, I should have just got the magnetic one, man. Like, why did I have to be cheap? Oh yeah, yeah. All right, so it's above the 600E in my feels, in how it feels, just because the user experience, because it's got that trackpad, that glass trackpad. It's got a better screen. Okay, I gotta make stuff share clips. Share pins so that everything, I can pin everything down and not. All right. What was my order again? Oh yeah, I'm losing track. And that's the MacBook Pro with E40 below the MacBook Pro. And finally, actually though, I still got a few. All right, I can review more computers. Okay. Then let's move forward a couple more years, 2 more years actually. This is a Razer Blade. Very nice computer. Keyboard quite terrible. Very little travel. Actually, funny thing, this is the same size keyboard as the X61, which is quite interesting. It's 13-inch. It's got a 1920 by 1080. Hinges is very nice. The speakers, best speakers on a laptop I have. Best laptop. Maybe my MacBook Air is better, but it's got a Core i7, 1065 G7. The trackpad, very nice. It's a glass trackpad. It's very smooth, but keyboard being the way it is, I can't rank it any higher. I can't rank it very high. I would have to rank it below the MacBook Pro, Razer Blade Stealth, 2019, I think. For what exact year it was, doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure they look the same anyway, it's just the specs. Okay, so I feel like I'm gonna run out of storage soon. It's like such a long video. Oh. Okay, let's move on. Cause I got more clips, more pins I can do. So on to my most newest computers. This is 2020 MacBook Air M1 MacBook Air. Oh, it's not opening. It's got like a vacuum seal. That's a point against the user experience. Trackpad, very nice. It's a haptic trackpad. The fact that it still clicks shows it's probably still on. Still has battery somehow. Very good battery life. Very nice usage. Keyboard, very little travel though. Had to take points off. I don't like the glossy screen. Very light. Ports, very little ports. Gotta take points off for that. So I would say it's above the Razer Blade Stealth and above the MacBook Pro, but below the ThinkPads. It's below ThinkPads. So MacBook Air. Alright. And move on to my final laptop. Final working laptop. My ThinkPad T14 Gen 3. It's got the 1.5mm travel keyboard. It's got I don't like the trackpad. I don't like the track point. Trackpad doesn't feel very good. It's trackpad, I guess. The arrow keys are tiny. Too tiny. I mean, the X1 Carbon in the same width can put in the bigger keyboard. Why can't you, ThinkPad T14, huh? Like, bigger keyboard. Smaller keyboard. Eh? This can do it. Why can't you? Anyways, so I would honestly have to rank it below the MacBook Air M1. Just because of that. It is a touchscreen, which is very nice. Touchscreens are very nice. But, I mean, at the compromise of what? The whole keyboard is not as good. The track point and its buttons aren't very good. It's like people don't understand that. People think this is better because, like, wow, this is like, you know, this probably feels better then because they don't like the hinging. But really, typing, track point. You're trying to drag stuff. Whoops, you accidentally pressed it. It's basically like a clunk pad, except you got a slightly higher chance of not hitting this when you do this. I mean, and also, oh no, you hit this thing that makes it that this key press didn't register. Frick you, frick the T14, worst ThinkPad I have owned. Honestly, the E40 is actually worse than. So, all right, let's put this up. It's gonna be like this is like a whole hour video, man. That is terrible. No one's gonna watch the whole thing. Just skip to the end. Okay, so E40 is above the Toshiba. put a Toshiba above. Oh no. So it goes like this. Oh, too small of a board. All right, so E40, then the Toshiba. All right, so this is the fruits of my labor. The whole 61 generation on top with the X1 Carbon Gen 6 on the bottom. Next, 600E on below that. MacBook Pro 13 inch M1. The ThinkPad T14. I forgot to write G3. That'll work. Gen 3, MacBook Pro late 2008 unibody, Razer Blade Stealth 2019, ThinkPad E40, and Toshiba 205 CDS. I'll be adding to this board as I get more data on those two, and I'll complete out the overall section when I'm done with these two, and then I'll be able to average everything overall. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye.